Okay, so it seems that recently there's been a little bit of a situation going down with Powder, and it seems like she's been banned from Twitch yet again. And obviously, if you guys remember the last situation was completely kind of just horrible because, of course, Twitch tends to have this horrible kind of system in terms of their banning and in terms of explaining to you exactly what you've done so you can improve on it next time. And obviously, in some cases, still punish you if you do improve on it, if they actually even do tell you in the first place. And obviously, if you guys remember the first ban with Powder, essentially, she was combining chat, I'm pretty sure, with her kick chat, which apparently is a big no-no, which is allowed now, by the way, which I think is crazy. They literally just allowed it recently after the whole Giguk thing. So she got banned for a reason that is now allowed on Twitch. Okay. And obviously, they warned her, hey, don't do that. It's against the rules. And apparently she changed it. And then, about a week later or so, they ended up banning her, which of course was absolutely ridiculous because she made the changes. She, did everything right. And I do think she was unfairly banned by Twitch in that case. Now, of course, recently she's been banned again, this time for longer, I'm pretty sure. I think the last one was only a day. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. But essentially, she has been now banned for 7 days after essentially, streaming. And essentially, they've given her no reason. Now, one of the reasons that she thinks it is in this tweet here saying, I've been suspended on Twitch for 7 days. Got no warning, got no specific reason. I can only assume that it was related to the Tyler video I watched since they deleted the VOD too. I've submitted an appeal. Hopefully I can give you more specifics soon. I'll be streaming RE9 on Kick in the meantime. See you there. So she will still be streaming on Kick and whatever. So go and check that out. But essentially, it seems like, a VOD got taken down from the stream where essentially she was reacting to a Tyler Oliveira video where he was talking about, I'm pretty sure something going on in Texas. There's this video that she also made as well talking about it. I mean, we go through it for the first kind of bit and then, we'll talk about it, right?
I have been suspended from Twitch for 7 days. Why? I'm not so sure. On April 7th, I watched I Exposed Texas's Indian Invasion by Tyler Oliveira.
Yeah, so that's the video that apparently she watched on stream, which, again, I don't know.
With chat. The VOD was deleted by Twitch, so I can only assume my suspension is related to that. And this suspension in particular seems a bit much. 7 days. However, this isn't my first time being suspended on Twitch, but even that previous suspension felt unreasonable, so let me give you the details on that. On January 19th, I used a widget to combine chat from Kick and Twitch. I received a warning from Twitch and immediately stopped using it in my streams moving forward. A week later, on February 4th, they suspended me for 1 day for the same reason and deleted the VOD. If I had known leaving the VOD published was a problem, I would have taken care of it, but they never provided any directions on how to fix the problem. I just assumed that as long as I stopped using the widget in future streams, it showed that I understood the warning and fixed the issue. Apparently, that wasn't good enough. And to make matters feel a bit more silly, on February 24th, Dan Clancy announced that Twitch will no longer enforce against streamers with combined chats.
In this... this is
which obviously, he essentially announces the fact that, it happened. There was a whole Giguk stream where he complained about it, and then they changed it, and obviously it's for bruh.
Fast forward to today, around 1 a.m., I received a 7-day suspension without any specifics as to what I did wrong. The only thing that I do know is that it falls under hateful conduct, but other than that, I was not given any specifics, so I apologize, I cannot tell you any more than that. I also did not receive any warnings. I submitted an appeal, which currently shows the status accepted, so I am waiting to see if I receive any emails about that. As a Twitch partner, I am incredibly disappointed in their inability to properly communicate with their streamers, and I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. So for the time being, I will stream exclusively on Kick until the suspension is over. YouTube shouldn't be impacted in any way, and the uploads will continue as planned. For streams, I'll be live on Kick Monday through Thursday, 12 to 3 p.m. PST. Thank you for continuing to support me, and I hope...
So, that's essentially it, right? That's essentially the full video, apart from the Dan Clancy bit there. That essentially, she has been banned for 7 days, and Twitch claiming that it's for hateful conduct, which of course they haven't given her a timestamp, they haven't given her a kind of explanation as to what was hateful conduct, and what she can improve on next time. And this is the problem with Twitch and their banning systems, right? They've banned VTubers before for having, you know, slightly revealing outfits or something like that before, and it's been pretty ridiculous and don't explain the reason why, and then they get banned again because they didn't explain the reason why. And they do such a terrible job at being able to communicate with creators in terms of not only explaining to them what they have done wrong so they can improve on it next time, but also in the case of like appeals and stuff as well. You know, appeals can sometimes take way longer than it should do, right? Obviously, she said there that it said accepted on her appeal kind of page there, but obviously she's still not unbanned, which again, I think is pretty crazy. Now, of course, Twitch did implement some new kind of, you know, banning rules or whatever you want to call it, where essentially you can be banned just from streaming now, which obviously means that your entire page won't go down, which I do think is actually a pretty good move in terms of what Twitch has done recently. But I think the kind of support for banning and the support system for you know, appealing and kind of finding out what you did wrong so you can improve on it next time is just absolutely abysmal. You know, there's no support system in place to help people improve and avoid these bans in the future, which of course should be the thing that Twitch should be wanting, right? They should be wanting to educate people on exactly what they did wrong and why they find it wrong, and so that they can then adhere to those rules. But there is a big problem whenever you say, oh, you got banned for hateful conduct. Why? I don't know. You figure it out. You know, you figure it out. And then just kind of, you know, they'll just piss off, right? And it's just crazy that that's how, you know, a company is kind of acting, I guess. With you know, people who literally provide them money to their platform, right? These are people who give them money in the sense of they take a cut of their revenue and all of that kind of stuff, which I think is crazy. That's how they get treated, right? Obviously as well, you got other people reacting to this. Banana Juju saying, what is going on? Powder banned and nobody bans the roast by Banana. And obviously yeah, people saying Twitch is such a bad service, hopefully she gets unbanned soon. And yeah, obviously a lot of people just saying, you know, what the hell is Twitch doing right now? Which again, I do think it is pretty ridiculous because, you know, they've practically given no reason. The only thing that they've said is that it was for hateful conduct. That is the reason why that they have done it, but they haven't shown her where, you know, they haven't given the evidence behind it. They haven't given her the kind of, what do you call it? The example of why they banned her for that in specific, right? And as I said, you know, they think it might be due to the Tyler Oliveira video, obviously talking about the Indian invasion of Texas, which I haven't seen that video. I don't know what exactly is covered in it. So I don't know if there is some, you know, topics in there that maybe might flag the system. I'm not sure. But again, it is pretty ridiculous that obviously she has to get kind of, you know, striked for this in terms of, you know, just for reacting to a video, right? You know, this is the video that is publicly available on YouTube and you're allowed to watch it on YouTube, which again, I feel like should be fine. I'm pretty sure most YouTube videos, as long as they're not like, you know, maybe a music video or something like protected by copyright, should be fine in terms of community guidelines kind of things, right? They should all be, you know, similarly in line with the same kind of like, I guess, guidelines that Twitch has. But apparently maybe not in this case. Maybe there's something else during the stream that they, you know, wanted to get rid of. But I do think it is pretty crazy that they haven't given them an explanation, because of course, how is Powder supposed to kind of avoid, you know, doing something like that in the future, right? How is she supposed to avoid doing the same thing to, you know, not get a ban again? She can't, because they haven't given her an explanation. They haven't given her a kind of a wider angle as to why, you know, this was in place, why this ban actually happened, and why, you know, all of this has gone so badly, right? But yeah, I mean, hopefully she does get that appeal kind of accepted soon, and that her account does go back up soon. But yeah, currently it seems like they still haven't been kind of providing a full answer. All they've just said is hateful conduct, and that's it, which of course is very helpful whenever it comes to trying to improve on that in the future, right? And, you know, thanks Twitch. But yeah, that's what I look for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also go to GameStop, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.